Hey y'all, Ramdino here, coming at you from hot North Carolina, where spring is sprung and summer has definitely begun. Welcome to the channel update for the Appalachian Trail 2019 Thru hikers. This is a channel where a lot of folks come to check out what's going on with the 2019 Thru hikers and to keep up with them and to support them. Best way you can do that is hit that subscribe button down there, then go to my Facebook page at Ramdino Roaming the Trails, and you'll find a complete list and all the links for all the thru hikers that we are tracking right now on the trail for their YouTube accounts, Instagram accounts, trail journals, blogs, vlogs, what have you. So hit that subscribe button and then go over there and copy all those down, and be sure and go and leave comments on their page, and let's keep them supported and spurred on all the way to Katahdin or all the way to Springer or whichever direction they're coming. So let's go ahead and get right to it. This week we got NOBO registrations are 2,320, and that's up from last week of 2,314. Flip-floppers, we got 184 that are registered this week, and that's up from 180 of last week. And SOBO is 210 this week, and that's up from 201 of last week. So registered on the Appalachian Trail Conservancy website, which is where I'm getting this information from, we have over 2,714 this week, up from last week of 2,695. Now, as before, we've got some interesting numbers with that, in that the bag tags I just called down within an hour ago and spoke to Sherry at Amicalola Falls State Park, where folks register when they're getting ready to step off on their NOBO hike if they haven't registered through the Appalachian Trail Conservancy. That's where they get their bag tag, and the bag tag down there they just gave out number 2,621. So given that that's where folks start their NOBO at 2,320, obviously we're roughly 301 folks that did not pre-register on there. So that just kind of goes to solidify what we already know, is that a lot of people may not register until they get to the trail, and a lot of folks may not register at all. And we're somewhere around bag tag number 300 that has made it to Harper's Ferry so far. So obviously it takes about 3 months to get there from Amicalola State Park, from Springer Mountain, and we've had some folks drop out along the way and some attrition, and the bubble hadn't quite got there yet. So the bubble's just a little far south of there, so we'll talk about that in just a minute. New vloggers and bloggers that we've added to the community. We had one this week, and that is Spotter. And Spotter's already left, and they have a Facebook page, and I'll leave that down in the description section there for Spotter. And Spotter also has an Instagram page, and that's Appalachian Trail Journey, at Appalachian Trail Journey. I'll leave that down there as well. So if we've left you off and you're not in the list, if you're a blogger or vlogger, please go to my Facebook page and check out that list. If you're not listed there, or your listing is wrong, please make sure we get you listed or get you corrected so people can go there and support you on your quest for your thru hike. Weather report. Weather report is hot here in the south. That's the weather report. The Roanoke area, which is where the main bubble's around that area, and coming into Roanoke this week, is slim chances of rain through the upcoming weekend, but temps are going to get into the mid to high 90s. So guys, you need to be hydrating really well, and you need to be checking out the streams. Some of the intermittent streams that are noted on gut hooks as not always being a water source may be problematic, because it's been a while since we've had some rain around here. If you're a little farther north, up in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, it's not quite as hot, with highs in the mid to high 80s, but you're going to have a significant chance of rain starting on Tuesday and going through Wednesday of this week. So keep that in consideration if you're in the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area. And if you're further north around the Dalton, Massachusetts area, the temperature is going to be a little more reasonable in the 50 to 60s to the low 70s, but you can expect rain from Tuesday on until around Friday somewhere, with scattered thunderstorms. So you guys take all that into consideration as you're thinking about where you're going to be out there on the trail and what you're going to be taking with you. Hiker updates this week, and a lot of these folks have sent their updates to me through my Facebook page and the messenger there at Ramdino Roaming the Trails, and that is the preferred method. If you can, if you want to be included in the updates, if you could send that to me in a private message, so that we get that there and it's not actually out there public knowledge, because I always make sure that I don't give the exact location to everybody for hiker safety, and make sure I delay that somewhat. So for those updates that we've got, Pork Chop, he's somewhere around Boiling Springs, Pennsylvania. He got his bear bag stolen because apparently Pennsylvania has these miniature bear bag poles around the parks up there. And they've actually started using those for lantern holders now. So you may not want to use the lantern holders for bear bags. But he's over the 1,000-mile mark, and so Pork Chop, you're doing great. We look forward to your continued journey. Wrong Way, he's somewhere around Paula, New York. Says he's approximately 6 weeks away from Summit and Katahdin, so and starting his Sobo leg. Now that's something that I was not aware of. I don't know how I missed that, but he is going to be turning back around and maybe attempting a yo-yo. He's not for sure if he's going to go the whole way, but he's going to stay out there on the trail on his yo-yo Sobo trip until he just gets tired of being out there. But more power to you, Wrong Way. We look forward to watching you finish your Nobo trip and then watching see how far you get on your Sobo. So get it going there, my friend. Craig Maines, he is still on the long trail. He's got somewhere a little south of 60 miles to finish the long trail. You'll recall that Craig's trail name is Hawk, and he just decided he wanted to take a break from the AT. And how does he take a break? He hikes another long trail. So he is on the long trail up there in, I believe it's in Vermont. So he's having that, and he's almost done with that. Then he'll be getting back on the Appalachian Trail. Ramblin' Rose or Rex, they're somewhere around mile 557. PJ on the AT, he's around Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Minnesota Hikings, they are north of Dismal Falls and went swimming there. 10-4s around Caledonia State Park. Pack Adventures, they're north of Daleville. Japheth Hester, he's north of Marion. Wonder Women, they are past halfway, and their bag tags are number 288, 289, and 290. So that was a couple days ago, so we're well over the 300 mark for them there, after them, and we appreciate all your videos that you're putting up, Wonder Woman, and just keep it up. Underdog, he's north of Pennsylvania and somewhere with 3 digits to go, with less than 1,000 miles to go on his trip. Paul's on the trail. He should be somewhere around Newport, Virginia now. Nab, Liberator, and Puppet, they are north of McAfee Knob and closing in on the Shanty. So their trips and their pictures that they gave us there on McAfee Knob, I'm glad somebody was holding Era. We wouldn't want anything to happen to Era. I didn't see her little paws hanging over McAfee Knob, but we appreciate the pictures that y'all sent to us. And Runa is somewhere around the Smokies. If I missed your update, I apologize for that. Please let me know and send that to me again over at my Facebook page and the messengers there at Ramdino Roaming the Trails, and we'll make sure we get you updated next week for the next update. Off the trail, Two Knees is off the trail due to an ankle injury, and she should be back on in a week or so. So send her a message over there at her PC Outlook YouTube channel and keep her spurred on there. Try, she had gotten off her wedding, and she is somewhere around the Roanoke area staying with Lollipop and Peabody while they heal for some injuries. And Try has decided to maybe mix up her hike a little bit. She is considering doing a flip-flop and going ahead and doing a section that, well, I tell you what, I'll let her tell you. So go over to her channel. She's got some questions for the hiker community out there to help her make this decision. It's a very important decision. So y'all go over there and check her out. And over at Try's channel, and let's help her make that and be the hiker community that we all can be. And of course, Try's channel is AOL or Act Old Later channel. And I also understand that Quick Bear and Punk got off the trail for injury somewhere around Grayson Highlands and Dickey Gap, so I haven't been able to confirm that with them. I heard that from another hiker. I hadn't been able to confirm that with them themselves, but be sure and update me if you'd like to, Punk and Quick Bear, and let us know when you get back on the trail. News from the trail. I communicated with Sergeant Ron Sanchez's sister, and the Visitation Memorial Service celebrating his life was this past weekend, latter part of the week, and they thank everybody for praying and sending them good thoughts to them. It's made a big difference in how they're healing and how they're doing with the circumstances. And so I just, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate everything that the hiker community has done and reached out to them. So please continue to do so, as well as the unnamed female injured hiker. Approximate location of the hiker bubble this week is somewhere around Roanoke and Blacksburg, Virginia. Here's a graphic that shows you that area, and so you can tell it's moving on up from where it was from last week, and it'll be out of Virginia here in a couple of weeks. I got on the Katahdin Facebook page, and the Hunt Trail system that leads up to the summit is closed right now, and it's closed indefinitely. They're not giving a specific date of when they're going to have that open. They had delayed it open to May 22nd, and now they've delayed it further, and it may be as late as June 7th or later. So right now they've had a lot of snow melt and a lot of rain up there that's caused a lot of sedimentation to move down the trail, and the trails are in pretty wet condition, and so that climate up there and that ecosystem, they are very aware of not damaging it, and so they are not opening that up until they are sure that it's at the optimum point where there can't be so much damage up there. So right now it's not open. Doesn't look like it's going to be open for at least another week. And so just plan accordingly, you folks that are way up there, and particularly you folks that are going to be doing SOBO. There's a lot of people that are registered to start their SOBO June 1st and even that first week of June. So that doesn't look like it's going to be possible. Don't know for sure yet. Keep on the Facebook page, but if you've got flights going up there, you may have to lollygag around a little bit in the area till they open up. One thing I'm pretty excited to announce is that the AT has a new incident reporting system, a new number to call, an online reporting system, and an email you can send them some trail reports if there's a problem. So I'm going to pretty much read to you verbatim what's on their website. It says, if you are not in immediate danger but witness suspicious behavior, have a bad feeling about someone, observe vandalism on the AT, or just feel like something should be reported, contact the National Park Service 24-hour dispatch communication center to inform them of the situation. And there's a 866 number, and there is a website there, and I'm going to leave that down in the description section. So I would encourage you to add that to your contacts list on your phones. They also say an email, in case you're not comfortable with a phone call at the moment, is incident@appalachiantrail.org. I'll leave that in the description section as well. Even if you feel this might have been a one-time situation, law enforcement might have had other reports that we can connect to others. This could help identify and address a pattern of harassing, threatening, or other concerning behavior. If you are not sure whether to report something, we always recommend submitting a report for any suspicious or potentially dangerous situations, even if it turns out to be nothing. These reports help our law enforcement partners identify problem areas requiring much attention. So there is a new thing that they've come out with, so take advantage of that if you feel like you need to. Certainly don't want any false reports there, falsely identifying somebody, but at the same time, we want to be vigilant. So if you feel threatened or you feel there's something suspicious stuff would be people in a shelter that's near a parking area that don't have any gear, or people that have inappropriate gear like a huge tent or a cart that they've hauled stuff in there with or something like that. And most people kind of got this gut feeling if there's something going on. So I would encourage you to stay vigilant. If you're in a group, I had a hiker tell me that their group has come up with a code phrase. So if they get somewhere and somebody just kind of gets the willies and they feel like they need to move on, then one of them says the code phrase and they move on to the next shelter or the next campsite or the next stealth site or something else like that. So take advantage of that number if you need to and that email address, and we look forward to seeing the success of that. Bear reports. The Smokies have put out a new warning at Birch Spring Gap Campsite, which is at mile 172.3, and Icewater Spring Shelter, which is at mile 210.8. So they've had some, they're indicating caution around those campsites. They've had some issues with bears there, specifically there, taking bear bags and getting into people's packs and stuff that were unattended. So that's in the Smokies. And we've also got a new alert for Grayson Highlands and Mount Rogers. The Thomas Knob Shelter, which is at mile 499, and as far north as Hurricane Shelter, which is at 515, unoccupied tents and packs have been damaged by bears looking for food. So if you plan to camp overnight between Elk Garden, which is VA Virginia 600, and Dickey Gap, which is Virginia 650 highway, ATC recommends you camp only where you can store your food in a metal food storage or bear box. Even if you carry a personal bear-resistant container like a earth sack or a jar, then you need to store your stuff in the bear box. In particular, camping is not recommended near the Fox Creek, Virginia 603 trailhead due to multiple reports of stolen food, bear encounters, and property damage at campsites along the AT and at nearby Grindstone Campground. Don't forget the Hikers Helping Hikers section, our GoFundMe donations that we are raising for the Sanchez family as well as the unnamed female injured hiker. There we're up to $4,931, so that's well short of our goal. However, every little bit helps, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you would share that with other people. If you've contributed to that, thank you so much for that. I know the families appreciate all the outpouring of love, and hopefully this is just a small, tangible example of what the hiker community can do and what the hiker community does for its own. So please share that with other folks and on your social media accounts. I greatly appreciate that. On a different note, I have an interview coming up this week with a local television station, and the purpose of the interview is to look at the attack that happened and specifically what could have been done different to prevent it, and specifically from the aspect of mental health, as I feel like this interview is going to go, given the indications I've gotten from this reporter. So, she's asked me as a member of the hiker community, I want to represent the hiker community properly. So if you're specifically, I'd like to represent the thru hikers that are out there, since y'all were so close to what was going on there, and you just have a different mindset than folks that are just in the hiker community since this occurred to thru hikers. I'd like your input on that. So if you would either leave a comment in the comment section down there, or if you would go over to my Facebook page and send me an instant message and leave me a comment, how you feel about the attacks as far as what could have been done to prevent that, and also specifically from a mental health aspect. I greatly appreciate you helping me out with that. I want to represent the hiker community properly, and that's my goal. All right, folks, that is all I got this week. Appreciate you staying to the end. As always, appreciate you, and we'll see you out there.